What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play No One Lives Forever. Last time we completed the tenuous lead level. We went through the cargo freighter to get the... Actually, I don't even remember what the actual objectives we had to do were. I just remember I took photos of a few of the barrels. I do remember that was one of the objectives that we had to do, so that's why I did that. And then, they both blew up. No thanks to our good friend Tom Goodman. Now, it didn't really say, obviously, didn't really say that it was him who did it, but I'm sure you can pretty much guess that it was him based on previous happenings. So, thanks to Goodman, the boat exploded and we had to get the hell out of there before we drowned. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, between Act 4 and Scene 4 and Scene 5, when you get knocked out by Armstrong, that is another one of those PS2 only 9 years ago flashback levels. So, just as I put a link in the description for the previous part, for that unexpected turbulence level, I'm going to do the same thing with this part. But anyway, let's get on with the next mission. H.A.R.M's Promise. Kate stops by the safe house for some dry clothes and a few moments on the firing range to work out her frustrations.
You are proving to be an inadequate operative, Agent Archer. You have yet to carry off a successful mission. Well, perhaps all is not lost. At least you placed a beacon in the radio room, which will allow you to locate the sunken freighter. It would probably be worthwhile for you to practice diving in a controlled environment before attempting this mission.
Yeah, practice diving, blah blah blah. It's gonna be like 2 seconds long. Report to the Advanced Field Tactics area. Yeah, you really don't learn much new things other than you get introduced to the harpoon gun, which is basically not the harpoon. Well, I guess technically it's a harpoon gun. I mean, you basically shoot darts. Darts are harpoon. I'm gonna call it a harpoon gun just because that's probably actually what it is, but even if it's not, I'm probably going to call it the harpoon gun just because that's what it looks like. And it's basically the main weapon of the next chapter. Not completely. It's for the last part of the next chapter. After this one, obviously. And then you get introduced to the swimming mechanics.
Fabulous cigars, Carlyle. Absolutely fabulous. Aren't they? A close personal acquaintance of mine is in the import-export business. Gets them direct from Havana. Care for another? Don't mind if I do. After you smoke that one, you really ought to try one of these. Not Cuban, but I challenge you to tell the difference. Shall we turn it into a wager? Jolly good. Smashing. I only wish the Commissioner were here to fatten the pot. Here I am. Commissioner, good of you to join us. We're just about to embark on a little bet. Gordon here contends that his non-Cuban cigars will dupe seasoned connoisseurs like us. Rubbish. Hear, hear. You'll feast upon those words soon enough, old chaps. Frankly, I'd rather smoke them and wash them down with some more of this fine cognac. Isn't it divine? No, smashing. What's the matter, Commissioner? You look a mite wan. Pale as cheese. Are you quite all right? I'm not sure. On my way here, a big bald chap with an eye patch poked me in the leg with his umbrella. I've been a bit gassy ever since. I say! What a rude fellow. No wonder you're upset. I hope he apologized. Actually, he said au revoir and handed me a lily.
Yep, another demonstration, actually not another, just the first demonstration of the the thing that they were carrying on that cargo freighter. The cargo, the merchandise, whatever you want to call it, that they were transporting on a freighter before it blew up, was this little chemical that basically turns you into a walking bomb, as you saw in that cutscene. Anyway, let's get through. So yeah, you learn two things. You'll learn how to use the harpoon gun, and you'll learn how to use a zipline. And that's basically it. Honestly, I don't know why they even bother with these little debrief levels. Like, I would get it if they just used if they had a cutscene, if they just completely skipped this quote-unquote training and just had a cutscene in it. That would have made more sense to me, because you really don't learn anything new. I mean, you get introduced to certain, to mechanics that you may or may not use in the next part. Like, for this one, honestly, you don't even use the zipline in this part. Actually, that's not true, you do use it. Because actually, it's the last time that I played this part, actually stumped me. But, either way, you really, you can... I suppose it's a nice way to introduce you to the mechanic, but I'm sure you can still figure out how to do it on your own. By playing around, but whatever. Because really, these ones aren't... Because these levels take 2 minutes to complete just because they're so short. Like, if they would let you do some big training or whatever, like in Deus Ex, the first game, there's a training level. Well, the training level is optional, of course, unlike these levels, but that level basically introduces you to every mechanic that you will be playing in the game. If you want to skip that training, you can, and you can just figure out how to play for yourself. And, I mean, it's not that this little thing is bad, it's just that I think it's kind of useless because, they don't really introduce you to that much new things, and like I said, the things that you are introduced to, you can pretty much, because, like I said, they teach you...
Advanced Field Tactics.
They teach you how to use a harpoon gun. Why? It's a weapon. You can, and that's the only the part where you have to use it. That is your only weapon. So it's not like it's that hard to figure out how to actually use it. The only one that could, even the zipline, really, the zipline isn't that confusing either. The only difference is that you might not know that the zipline is there. Like, I completely forgot that the first time that I played it. I completely forgot that the lighter, the secondary function of it, is the welder, and they had to change it. That's the only real thing that may confuse you. And even then, once you play around a bit, you can probably figure it out. So I don't see the reason why they even give you this, but that's just my 2 cents.
Take some time to acclimate yourself to scuba diving. When you're done, return here. You might also want to familiarize yourself with the Morris Model 14 spear gun. It could come in handy.
Yeah, so they call it a spear gun. Still looks like a harpoon. Although I guess a harpoon and a spear are technically kind of the same thing. But really, all you do, you can jump in the water. Say you have this little oval egg visor thing, which is your scuba mask. And all you gotta do is 1, 2. That's the whole training. You don't even get in, you don't even get put into a virtual fight or whatever, or some kind of well, this is the 60s, so you wouldn't even have virtual things, but you weren't even put into a simulation where you have to fight against some fellow spies or whatever, and you use dummy rounds so that you can practice, or you use some kind of sticks or whatever. That would have been much more interesting than this, in my opinion.
This belt buckle turnbuckle is actually a cleverly disguised zip cord that shoots out a thin, tensile line capable of supporting the weight of an adult human of average size. When the line is fastened to certain suitable clasps or hooks, the device's miniature motor will lift you automatically.
And again, nothing special. All you do, aim it at that little hook.
Excellent.
And there you have it. The end of the chapter. Like, honestly, there's no point in even doing it. But, anyway. Yeah, 7 minutes and 22 seconds. And that's only because I was, like, rambling on for probably, like, 5 of those minutes. And, yeah, so that's just my little 2 cents on this, and I'm not going to do this every single time. But, there you have it. Really? I mean, I guess I can say, hope you guys enjoyed this, but there's really not that much to enjoy in these debrief levels. Okay, I'm going to stop with that. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I shall catch you next time when we tackle the next main mission, which includes a good old underwater exploration. See ya.